News Services Division of Akashvani presents Northeast Diary.
Good evening. Welcome to this edition of Northeast Diary, bringing you the latest developments from India's unexplored Northeast region. Today we bring you a report from Imphal, where Manipur observed the 132nd Patriots' Day on Sunday, August 13th, to commemorate the supreme sacrifice of the brave sons of Manipur, who laid down their lives while defying the British Empire in 1891. We will also get to know about the customs and culture of Michu Mushmi tribe of Tibet and Arunachal Pradesh. But for now, let's go over to Mawlyngnoung village, nestled in the East Khasi Hills district of Meghalaya, where Colonel Mani K. Khataraj shared his unique experience of cleanliness in the village, which is aptly known as Asia's cleanest village or God's own garden.
Stirred to a slow, dreamy wakefulness from a night-long slumber caused by a tiredness of almost 100 kilometers plus drive from Shillong, I woke up to the sounds of chirping birds in Mawlyngnoung, the cleanest village of Asia. Located in the East Khasi Hills district of Meghalaya, the abode of clouds, this little village is the epitome of cleanliness and orderliness personified. The warm and gentle caress by God's finger-like rays of the rising sun, filtering through the white laced curtains of the open window, gliding in sync with a gentle moving breeze, bathed the tiny wooden room. Fully awake, refreshed and invigorated by the magical morning, I observed the cool interiors of the small room with wooden walls, wooden door, and two tiny wooden windows and a rough wooden ceiling. Tempted, as always, to breathe the fresh morning air outside. Walking out through the wooden door, I surveyed the scene outside as I sat on a long wooden bench at the veranda of the cottage. The small and neat courtyard was filled with riots of bright pink and magenta bougainvillea bushes, and the rays of the rising sun from the eastern horizon reached the cottage garden, filtering through the branches of pine, aromatic bay leaf trees, and the thick green foliage of lychee and jackfruit trees that guarded the cottage as it stood at peace and in silence with itself, savoring nature's paradise with a hot mug of strong Khasi tea that materialized through a sweet smiling little girl of the house. I heard the sound of a jungle myna from a nearby stream gurgling down the village. The morning peace was punctuated by the chirpy and lively bird calls, and I could distinctly hear the melodious twitting of magpies and robins. I clicked photos of the house, the garden, and the surroundings at random. There were birds dancing and hopping around in the garden, feeding themselves with flower juice, insects, and worms. I noticed a scarlet minivet, a Burmese roller, and a blue-throated barbet amongst robins, sparrows, while a flock of noisy seven sisters flew in and out of the garden in a hurry. The beautiful cottage homestay, my home for the day, belonged to Lurshai Khongsni, who doubled as a primary school teacher of the local government school and owner of an orchard of orange, pineapple, and areca nut, locally called Kwai. I was referred to Lurshai by his uncle and one of my best friends and regimental officer, Lieutenant Colonel Martin Kongmen, retired, who was born and had spent his carefree boyhood in Mawlyngnoung. Now he lives in Shillong, pursuing evangelical and social work. Lieutenant Colonel Martin not only arranged my trip, but, unbeknownst to me, even sponsored my trip by passing a sealed envelope to his nephew. I was extremely fortunate as another dear friend and regimental officer, Colonel Sanjay Mothe, lent his private car for the trip, although regular bus sumo services as well as hired taxis are available from Bada Bazar, Shillong to Mawlyngnoung at reasonable tariff. I washed up, changed and relished a breakfast of bread with local orange honey, omelette of local duck eggs, washing it down with my favorite strong Khasi tea. Refreshed with a good night's sleep and a hearty breakfast, I left the house with Lurshai to explore the village. As we walked around the village, I was most pleasantly shocked and surprised by its spotlessly clean environment. It could not be India, my dear country. The entire village was just plain clean without frills, without a single trace of dirt, trash, cow dung, or for that matter, even chicken or bird droppings. Having carried out numerous cleanliness and orderliness inspections in my military life, I critically looked around for those small coloured shining tobacco gutka packets that litter the cities, towns and villages of India, but found none. Even the drains along the houses and roads were spotless, and children had playfully chalk-written letters of the alphabet in the drains. I observed a few trash or waste papers in conical bamboo baskets tied to bamboo poles and thoughtfully placed low enough for the children to use. I observed children playing and dogs and cats and chicken moving about, but not a bit of litter anywhere. The main road was blacktop tarmac, and there were smaller cemented footpaths connecting houses or clusters of houses. And there were a few ordinary mud and stone footpaths, all neat and clean. Most of the dwellings were small cottages with corrugated iron sheet roofs and wooden or bamboo walls. All the houses were erected over 2 to 3 feet high lofts or machans for air circulation and to ensure safety from rainwater during monsoons. There were a few roadside shops where girls were selling fruits, cool drinks, vegetables and wooden artifacts from Bangladesh, all neatly arranged over wooden benches, and again, no litter, absolutely clean. As I walked, marveling the sense of cleanliness of the villagers, I saw a small boy deliberately placing dry leaves and a few papers in the conical bamboo waste basket. That was the sense of cleanliness instilled in the children since the time they came into the world of Maulinang. In other words, keeping the homes and the village clean was a way of life for the simple Khasi people of this village that was passed from generation to generation. The waste collected in the conical bamboo baskets is regularly poured into pits and used as manure after a few months of maturing. The village headman informed me that waste which is not biodegradable is collected and dumped at a dumping site far away from the village once a month. Maulinang village has undoubtedly set an example for others that needs to be replicated in other villages. The spirit of cleanliness exhibited by the villagers through their self-sustained efforts deserves an applause. Well, after the long day drew to an end, I thought of giving myself a break and return to my beautiful cottage to prepare myself to discover other gems of this magical land.
Nagaland joined the nation in celebrating the 77th Independence Day. A state-level celebration was held in Civil Secretariat Plaza, Kohima, with Chief Minister Nipu Rio hoisting the tricolour and took salute from 21 parade contingents. More from our correspondent.
The people of Nagaland celebrated the 77th Independence Day with pomp and patriotic fervour. Chief Minister Nipu Rio addressed the people of the state and made an appeal to resolve in redoubling one's efforts and rise above all kinds of differences and united to work for lasting peace, prosperity and the highest level of economic development of the state.
My dear fellow citizens, I extend warm greetings to everyone on the occasion of the 77th Independence Day. This Independence Day, let us all resolve to redouble our efforts, raise above all kinds of differences and ism, and unitedly work for attainment of lasting peace, prosperity, and the highest level of economic development. Every nook and corner of the state, and for every section of our society.
On the occasion, the state has taken the pledge for drug-free Nagaland in all the districts and subdivisions as a mark of commitment towards the war on drugs. Chief Minister Nupirio led the state in taking the pledge.
I pledge to make our community, family, friends and ourselves drug-free. I will take all efforts in my capacity to make Nagaland and India Nasha Mukt or drug-free. Together we pledge.
Presentations of awards, cultural and other entertainments marked the celebration, while various organizations made a philanthropic visit to institutions such as old-age homes, orphanages, jails, etc. For Northeast Diary, this is Asonyo from Akashvani News, Kohima.
Indian freedom movement is replete with heroic stories and many historic events in its freedom struggle. Many states fought bravely to safeguard the independent status of their land. One of such great struggles takes place in Manipur, and every year the Patriots' Day is being observed on August 13th. Let's hear more from our Imphal correspondent JJ Tokcham.
Manipur on August 13 observed Patriots' Day to remember great heroes who fought against the British colonial during the Anglo-Manipuri War 1891. On this day in 1891, Thangal General and Veer Tikendrajit Singh were hanged to death by the British. The Anglo-Manipur War was an armed conflict between the British Empire and the Kingdom of Manipur. Patriots' Day was observed every year for the remembrance of those brave sons of Manipur who chose death over surrendering the sovereignty of their motherland to the British and laid down their lives gracefully. The day is observed every year in different parts of the state as well as outside the states. This year, the 132nd Patriots' Day was observed on last Sunday. Chief Minister N. Biren Singh led others to pay floral tributes to the brave martyrs at the Samadhi of Veer Tikendrajit Singh and Thangal General. Gun salute was also given to pay homage to the brave sons of Manipur. The state-level Patriots' Day organized by the state government was held at Veer Tikendrajit Park, Imphal. While addressing the gathering, Manipur Governor Susri Anusuya Uike said that we should be proud of our heroes and their sacrifices. She said,
हमें प्रेम, शांति, सहिष्णुता और आपसी समझ के अपने सदियों पुराने मूल्यों की रक्षा करने का भी संकल्प लेना चाहिए। मुझे इस बात का बहुत गर्व होता था कि हिंदुस्तान में अगर कोई अपनी भारतीय संस्कृति को अगर देखना है तो ये मणिपुर में आकर देखें कि किस तरह से यहाँ लोग अपनी संस्कृति को सामूहिक रूप से एकता के साथ मिलकर सब लोग मनाते हैं।
The story of bravery and patriotism of those heroes still keeps on instilling the love of their motherland upon the hearts of generation of Manipuris. JJ Thoksom from Imphal for Akashvani News, Northeast Diary.
Now, let's hear some interesting facts about the customs and cultures of Miju Mushmi tribe of Arunachal Pradesh.
The Mismis belong to Tibeto-Mongoloid stock. The presence of Mismis in the foothills of Lohit Valley got a mention for the first time in the chronicles of Ahoms during the reign of Ahom king Sutianfa Narya Raja in the year 1644 to 1648 AD. There had been instances of little skirmishes between the Mismis and the Ahom kingdom. The might of Ahom kingdom from this region was finished by the imperialist Britishers. However, the Britishers came into contact with the Miju and Digaro Mismis in the year 1825 when adventurers like Lieutenant Wilcox and Dr. Griffith went deep into the Mismi Hills. Due to non-exposure to the outside world, the Mismis were suspicious of the visiting strangers to their land. The Mismis, like other hill tribes of the region, were very averse to receive strangers. It was very unfortunate that a fakir named Paramananda Acharya in 1848 and M. Cricht, a French missionary in 1851, were got killed when they were crossing Mismi areas. The person who killed Mr. M. Cricht was no other than Kaisha, a resident of small village under present Hawai circle of Anjao district, Arunachal Pradesh. The population of Miju Mismi is spread over the two districts, that is Lohit and Anjao districts of Arunachal Pradesh. Out of 7 administrative circles of Anjao district, that is Haiuliang, Chaglagam, Goyliang, Manchal, Hawai, Walong and Kibito, the Miju Mismis are the predominant tribe in Anjao district, except in Chaglagam, Haiuliang and Goyliang circle, where the presence of Digaro Mismis are also found. As a matter of fact, there is no difference between Miju and Digaro Mismis except for a little differences in spoken dialect. In Lohit district, the presence of Miju Mismi can be seen in majority in villages under Wakro circle. Loyliang, Danglat and Changlang villages under Teju circle and few villages under Sunpura circle. And now let me tell you about from where Miju Mismis were known to have migrated. Miju Mismis, also called Kaman, are believed to have come from Kachin hills of Burma in phased manner. As earlier already mentioned that the presence of Miju Mismis was recorded, which dates back to 1644 to 1648 AD, it can be presumed that the tribe must have come to this place prior to 1644 AD. And now let us come to socio-economic, cultural and social life of the Miju Mismis. The Miju Mismis are the agriculturist tribe. They practice jhum or shifting cultivation as the topography does not allow for doing settled cultivation. They are self-sufficient tribe. They grow maize, millet and rice as a primary crop and grow kachu, sweet potato and other horticultural crops and vegetables to supplement the primary crops. The Miju Mismis are also considered to be a most enterprising tribe. They trade koptis, also called Mismi Tita, kasturi, the inner organ of the reindeer, and also trade opium, this locally called kani, though it is illegal. People nowadays are making money from horticultural crops. Oranges and cardamom has become a main commercial crop. In spite of lack of marketing facilities, farmers are making money by transporting it to the nearest town. The Miju Mismis are having distinct culture of their own. The cultural practices being followed by these tribes since time immemorial are being preserved undisturbed even to these days. The ingredients of cultural like dialects, dresses and costumes, songs and dances, religious faiths, etc. are different from other tribes of the state. As already told earlier that the Miju and Digaru Mismis are following same customs and tradition, the difference we find between these tribes are in dialect only. So far as the social life of the Miju and also as Digaru Mismis are concerned, the family is governed by patriarchal system, where the eldest male member is the head of the family. So the decision of his is supreme in the family and his command prevails. In terms of making and arranging matrimonials, the cross-cousin marriage, that is, marriage between brother's daughter and sister's son, are preferred most. Mithun is given as a bride price. Now let us come to the faith and religion of the Miju Mismis. Both Miju and Digaru Mismis follow their indigenous faith. This tribe primarily worship the goddess called Matai, the creator of universe. It is similar to the Donipolo faith followed by the Abotani race of Arunachal Pradesh, because Mismis also worship sun god. Nature like mountains, forests and rivers are also worshipped by offering domestic animals in the form of sacrifices. Miju and Digaru Mismis celebrate Tamladu festival on 15th February every year. This festival is observed to appease Goddess Matai. Goddess Matai is prayed to bless people with bumper harvest of crops on this festival. Now let us come to the food habits of the Miju and Digaru Mismis. The basic diet generally consists of the cereals, millets, vegetables and meat. Millet, maize and rice are commonly taken and they are supplemented by sweet potato, arum or kachu. A large varieties of wild leafy vegetables, roots and fruits including bamboo shoots are consumed. The Mismis are, so to say, champion in using nature for survival. And now let us come to the changing scenario of the Mijus and Digaru Mismis. With the changing trend and social dynamics in every field, the Mismis are also following the trend of change. Now it is seen that every household realizes the importance of education. With the educational institution spread far and wide, the parents have no choice but to send their children to the nearest schools. Changes is being seen in the field of dresses also. The local costumes are being improved by adding new designs. Songs and dances are also composed and choreographed according to present trend. In short, it can be concluded that the Mijus and Digaro Mismis are catching the pest of modernization.
This program was scripted and presented by Lucy G. Chattopadhyay, produced by Vinita Thakur with assistance from Kumar Gaurav. It was brought to you by the News Services Division of Akashvani.